What's going on? How may I help you?
So you're not picking up like any sort of particular virus that might be stuck in there?
Meatloaf, where the heck did you come up with that name for a cat? Does she look like a meatloaf?
But it's just, I don't know, it's scary.
Well, it's scary because you haven't dated in 33 years.
Do you see anything else making me ill, even if it's mold or like a lower vibrational energy or anything like that?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all over the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We got a whole bunch of people on hold, and we will get to them in just a minute. First of all, a couple of reminders. This is the first Thursday of the month, so you know what that means. I give away a free session. So stay with us. I'll announce that a little later in the show. And also just wanted to remind you that next Tuesday is going to be my Ask Julie Ryan Live. And it's kind of like an extended version of the show. We have a ball at that. And if you have a question that you want answered, I call on people that are on the Ask Julie Ryan Live. And it's kind of like a party atmosphere. And there are party favors in the form of big prizes, like free sessions with me for an hour, valued at $250, and free classes that I give away, and free books, and free other things. So those are party favors that I give away during the time that we're together. So next Tuesday, the 18th, and it's going to be at from 8 to 10 Eastern. Actually, I think it's 2 weeks from next Tuesday. So it's Tuesday the 18th, and we'll post it on social media and all of that. But you want to come because it's a blast. We have so much fun. So put that on your calendar. All righty, let's go to the phones. Looks like our first caller is Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte.
Hi, Julie.
How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm terrific. It looks like you have daffodils behind you. Are you
I
sitting
do. I have a big tapestry that's daffodils and it says love. So
It's beautiful.
thank you.
Gorgeous. Where are you? Where are you located?
I am in Beaverton, Oregon, which is basically Portland, Oregon.
Okay. Well, terrific. Got a question for me?
I do. One of my daughters has some pretty bad gut health, and she's had it for many years, and they've said she has a leaky gut, and she can't keep weight on. She's been through, she's really can't keep it on, and now she's lost like 20 pounds in 2 weeks from an abusive situation thing. And so that was, she has not been able to get much of that weight back up, and her diet is extremely limited. She's an organic farmer, vegetable farmer, and so she eats very pristine, no wheat, no dairy, no meat, and so she does all the things that she knows that she can do, and she's looked into it and studied it and all these things, and so she just, and I asked permission if you could scan her and maybe do some healing on her or something, whatever you could do, and she's all for it. So
Perfect. What's her name?
Jenny.
Jenny. And she's near you?
Yeah, she's in the other room.
Oh, great. She's really near you.
We live together, so.
Okay. I was thinking like in the same town, kind of near you. But
Yeah.
she's seriously near you.
Really near.
Seriously. Good. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do, Charlotte, I love your name. I don't know that I've heard that name before. Did your mama get fancy with a combining a couple of names?
Her name was Shirley. And so I'm little Shirley, and then my dad's name was Marvin. So Marvina is my middle name.
I love it. I love it. I have a friend whose birthday is today, whose name's Violetta, and her grandmother was Violette, I think, Violette, and so that means little violet. So I understand.
All right. Yeah.
So, how this works for those of you that are first time listeners is I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit. I'm going to watch a laser beam come from my body, Charlotte, here in Birmingham, Alabama, and it's going to hook into you up in Oregon. And then I'm going to have a laser beam go from you to your daughter. And then I'll have Jenny on my radar, and it'll be as if I'm looking at an X ray or a CT scan or an MRI. So something will be identified. I'm going to go into her gut just for time's sake. And then there'll be a healing that will begin. So I'm going to describe it to you in detail. And I want you to envision everything I see because you're going to be my helper.
Okay.
And so will everybody else listening by default. That's one of the cool things about this show is when I describe these healings, especially everybody listening, whether it's real time or in the future, like they're listening to it in a week or a month or a year or whatever, they're helping with the healing as well, just by default, because it's like, I'm describing something, you're going to picture it in your head. And so I think that's just an added bonus when you call into the show and get a healing. So here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading to you in Oregon. Got you. Okay, going to Jenny. All right, Jenny, I'm talking to your mama. I know it's fine. She says, I know it's fine. All right, here we go. Shooting energy from her feet up through the top of her head. Okay, a lot of inflammation. A lot of inflammation. So I'm getting that calmed down. Inflammation, Charlotte, looks to me like red fog on body parts. And I get it calmed down with anti-inflammatory energy, which is a royal blue color. And kind of like the blue just in those refreezable ice packs. I know you see those. And so that's the color blue that I see in my mind's eye that's doing that. All right. She's got yeast overgrowth. Has anybody talked to her about that? Leaky gut. She's got a candida yeast overgrowth.
She's been checked for that, and yeah, it might be. Yeah.
That's part of what's causing the leaky gut, primarily. That's what's causing the leaky gut, because the inflammation makes these little separations in the intestinal wall. And leaky gut is when microscopic particles of food and the toxins from the intestines, which is the sewer of the body, they get into the bloodstream. And that causes an inflammatory response because it causes an immune response. Because the body is going, what the heck is this in the bloodstream? These germs and these toxins and all of this stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm removing the yeast from her GI tract, stitching up those little separations. They look like little cuts, Charlotte, but they're not. They're separations in the cell wall, cell membrane, which is only one cell thick, so it doesn't take much. And here are some tips for her. She can listen to this on the playback tomorrow.
Okay.
Where you download podcasts, also on YouTube. So have her go to Viome, VIOME.com, and use Julie Ryan in the checkout box, like for the coupon when she checks out. Get a gut biome test done. It's going to tell her what.
She's done several of those in succession down the road. Yeah.
Great. So have her do one. It's going to tell her, here are her superfoods to incorporate into her diet. Here are the foods for her to avoid. She can do it at home. She doesn't need a doctor's orders. It's around $100. My team has gotten a really good discount on that. So use Viome.com, VIOME, /Julie Ryan, JULIERYAN, or put Julie Ryan in the coupon code at checkout, and she'll get more than half off on that. So that would be the first thing I do. Have her stay away from anything that's refined. I know she's an organic farmer, but does she eat any kind of sugar?
Nope.
Okay, any of that stuff. Good.
Nope.
Great. Have her continue to stay away from that stuff. Have her stay away from fermented anything. Does she eat fermented foods, Charlotte? Do you know? Or drink?
We started making kombucha.
No, that's a nightmare when you have yeast overgrowth. Nightmare. It's okay for you, but not for her.
Okay.
Because her gut's a fermentation factory. So when you put kombucha there, it's like pouring gasoline on a fire.
Okay.
Have her stay away from everything that's fermented: wine, beer, alcohol, kimchi, sauerkraut, kombucha, vinegar, soy
Yes,
sauce, all that stuff.
that it makes her feel better. It makes her stomach feel better. I don't know
Yeah.
what that's about, but I can see how it, yeah.
Yeah, makes it
I'll tell-
worse. So have her avoid that. If she's going to eat fruit, have her peel it, because there's tons of yeast on the peel of fruit or vegetables. Like if she's going to eat carrots or something, have her peel them. Peel the fruits and vegetables as much as she can. And then have her freeze and reheat leftovers, because yeast grows on leftovers in the fridge overnight. And a lot of us will say, "Oh, I got to eat this because I've had it in there for 3 or 4 days." Well, you do not want to eat that. If you did a test, a culture, even if it was in the fridge of what's growing on that stuff, you don't want to eat it. So, yeah, you want to freeze and reheat.
Redo that.
Yeah, good. And you're going to save a lot of food. You're going to save a lot of room in your freezer if you use Ziploc bags. I'm the Ziploc bag queen of the universe. Everything goes in a Ziploc bag in my freezer, and I label it, but I'll lay it flat on a shelf and get the air out of it. So when it's frozen, it's flat. And then I just stack those packages upright like files in a file drawer, and it works great.
Nice. All right.
Yeah. And then the last thing is she needs to be on some nystatin, which is an antifungal, NYSTATIN, nystatin. It's an antifungal that kills yeast on contact, stays in the GI tract, no known side effects. So that's what she wants to do too.
Ooh,
Also,
wonderful.
I would have her consider doing a consult with Dr. Amasanti in London via Zoom. It's DRAMASANTI, Amasanti. And she is an Oxford trained GP. She's functional medicine, and she's also a graduate of my class. So she does energy medicine. She works with people all over the globe via Zoom. I send a lot of clients to her, and she really helps them get healthy and get their guts
Oh,
healthy.
good. It has been so long. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be my recommendation. She can fix this. I had that for 40 years, first 40 years of my life. Last 24, I've been golden. So she can heal. The good thing is, doesn't cause any permanent damage, and it can be fixed.
Oh,
So,
good. Oh, good. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Thanks for calling in tonight.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Bye, Charlotte.
Bye.
Hi, Kim and Bailey. How are ya?
She's your biggest marketing fan right here.
Oh, God love you.
Right
Thanks
on.
for doing that. What's going on? How may I help you?
Sure. So similar to the last person, I also got consent from a dear friend. Her name is Sabrina. And yeah, when she was younger, she lost a close loved one, a brother,
Mhm.
who was kind of like a father figure, so very close. So genuinely just looking for any guidance around there and connection and just sort of love that can be received here.
What's his name? What his name's?
Michael.
What? Michael. Okay. All right, Michael. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to you, and from you to Sabrina, and Michael will be there, because when we're
Perfect.
talking about, they immediately come in. So here we go. Lay's beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading out to you in
All right.
Tahoe. All right, got you. All right, Sabrina. God, Sabrina. I don't ask permission to talk to their deceased loved ones, just if I'm scanning them, because I think
Sure.
that's an invasion of privacy, otherwise. So, Michael, does she have a question for him?
I think just general guidance and any sort of connection that he would like her to know.
Guidance about anything in particular?
Let's do just on like how
Is her love life in flux?
no, I would say more just like living situations and where she is in life and just validation.
Okay, he's talking about her love life. Is she married? Is she single? What's the scoop on that?
Yeah, so she is dating me.
She's, duh. Hey, Bailey, how many
Yeah.
times have you said, I can't make this stuff up? I promise. I can't make this stuff up. All right. She's talking about her love life. All
Okay.
right. Talking about her love life. What do you want her to know? Well, this is pretty funny. It's like telling the fox, how to get into the hen house here. Okay. What do you want Bailey and Sabrina to know? You guys are soulmates. There's a tremendous amount of love between you. Move forward with speed. Don't hesitate. You guys are great together. Quit over analyzing the crap out of everything. Just go with the flow and enjoy each other. Okay. Anything else, Michael? Anything else you want your sissy to know? She's a beautiful being. That's an interesting term to use. She's a beautiful being, and she deserves all the love that she can get and quit resisting it.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
100%.
He's all about this, about moving forward with speed and no resistance and just go for it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
you're a sweetie to call in for her.
Thank you. My mom is too.
Bye, Kim.
Bye, Julie. Thank you.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Julie.
How are ya?
Doing pretty good. A little confused, so I appreciate your help.
You bet. What are you confused about? You look gorgeous. You look so elegant.
Oh, well, thank you. My question is, 14 years ago, I had a T-cell lymphoma that they say is incurable, but I'm still here. I did chemo and things like that, and I've done all kinds of alternative things to stay healthy. The last couple of months, I've started to get enlarged lymph nodes in both sides of my neck, and I've done a PET CT, inconclusive. They can't say it's cancer. They can't say it's not. I just got the results from a biopsy, a needle biopsy, same thing, inconclusive. So I don't know, do I have cancer again? Or if I don't, what are all these enlarged lymph nodes? What is the problem? I have lots of alternative resources. I just don't know what direction to go in.
Okay. All right. Where are you located?
Bountiful, Utah.
Okay. That sounds like a movie set. It sounds like a storybook.
It's a nice place.
To Bountiful, Utah. Your life will be better. All right. Did you get the COVID shots, Chris?
No.
Okay. All right. Because that's a side effect of the COVID shots.
I know.
Yeah.
I would never get them.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I would never get them.
Okay. All right. So here we go. I'm gonna get you on my radar. We'll see what's going on with your lymph nodes, and we're just gonna do a lymph cleanse, and we'll see what's happening. So here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama, heading out to Utah, and got you shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. Wow, girl, right side's even worse than the left. What's going on? Yeah. Ooh. Okay. So kind of lumpy looking in there. Yeah.
Very
They hurt?
No, they're like little hard. Well, there's a big one here that they did the biopsy that you can probably see. And it's the biggest. And it has been sore-ish, not very bad. The other ones are just like little hard lump things that just roll around. So
Yeah. I can't see it on the camera, but I can see it in my mind's eye on the right side there. So, all right, let's just, I love this healing, Chris, because I get to see it a lot. I think I saw it 3 times today with clients, and it reminds me of something out of a Spider-Man movie. So what happens is there's this big, Spirit's got a sense of humor, and Spirit's pure love. So all this healing stuff is supposed to be fun when we do it, because everything can be healed. So there's this big dome, metallic dome, and it's like a magnetron, and it magnetizes all the lymph nodes that have sequestered any kind of toxins. Just comes right out the top of your head. And
Okay.
then what's happening is stem cell energy is being sprinkled on you, and new lymph nodes are being generated. Lymph nodes, Chris, look to me like little D3 capsules.
Mhm.
And the ones that have sequestered toxins, whether they be cancer cells or whatever, a virus or whatever is in the body that they're trying to get rid of, they can look either brown or black inside. Sometimes it can be a dot, sometimes it can be the whole lymph node. And then they expand and contract, which they do normally anyways, as part of our immune system. So those have come out. Stem cell energy has been sprinkled in all those areas where the lymph nodes came out. And stem cell energy is a light amber colored gel, has sparkles in it, and reminds me of Dippity Doo.
Ew, I
Because
heard that. Yes.
have you
yes,
heard that? Do you remember Dippity Doo when we were growing up?
yes, definitely.
No, it's hilarious. First time Spirit came in with that, Chris, I was like, seriously? You really want me to say that? And I heard, yeah, not only is it a great description, but it's also fun to say. Okay. Oh, dippity do. It is the coolest stuff. It'll regenerate any body part we need. So there's a vortex spinning above your head, beneath your feet, on either side of you, front and behind you, all spinning concurrently. And what that's doing is generating new lymph nodes with stem cell energy. In the meantime, let's do a lymph cleanse on you. It does not look malignant to me.
Okay, good.
Okay. Lymph, let's do the lymph cleanse, and then I'll explain what malignant looks like. Imagine there's a big vertical oval tube in the front of your body. And imagine all your lymph fluids going in there. And lymph fluid is an amber color, and it reminds me of that globby fluid inside a lava lamp. Do you remember lava lamps? And so it's spinning really fast. There's a hole that's opened on the bottom of each of your feet. And what's happening is all the toxins come out through those holes in the bottom of your feet. So it reminds me of a reverse osmosis purification method used with bottled water.
Okay.
You get bottled water and it says microfiltered and reverse osmosis purified. I think all bottled water is like tap water from New Jersey, and they just purify it. Don't you think? I read that.
Yes.
That was hilarious. Probably tap water from wherever the bottling plant is. But anyway, I digress. So that's what's happening there. Cancer looks to me like hot, sticky tar that's used to pave a road. And I'm not seeing that anywhere with you.
Yay.
I'm just not seeing it. So I think your lymph system is sequestering other things, and that's why it's swollen. Have you ever done legs up the wall?
Oh, yes. I do a lot of different lymph movement things, vibration boards, tramps, supplements, herbs, everything you can to, get the lymph moving, lymphatic massage, all kinds of things. But
right.
have those things. So,
are you doing that on yourself, on your neck?
I do it on myself. And yes.
Down on your, and then you hold, like you shrug your shoulders and you hold inside your collarbone and then tap on your sternum.
I haven't tapped on it.
Okay. Yeah. That's how because it dissipates it then if you tap on your sternum. I do that every
when I do this, and I do, because I learned all this from my cancer before, these things don't change no matter what I have been doing. Like, nothing I've taken has made a difference. Nothing I'm doing is making a difference. They just are hanging out.
Well, keep doing it. Keep doing it. And I think you look great. I think you look like $1 million, and I think I'm not seeing cancer anywhere. So let it go and do all your routines that you're doing, and hopefully these healings will integrate into your body and it'll help you heal yourself.
Okay, thank you so much. Just a quick question. So you're not picking up like any sort of particular virus that might be stuck in there that's causing this? I mean, my body's obviously fighting something. I just don't know what.
I don't know what it is either. And we could do a deep dive on it, if I had you for an hour during an
Yes.
appointment. But for right now, we just removed it with that magnetron from the Spider-Man movie that showed up and got those babies out of there. So that healing is going to integrate into your body. And I think let your body heal itself. It's sequestered, whatever.
Yeah.
And you feel badly? Are you tired or are you in pain?
I'm tired.
other
I'm
than the
tired, but
biopsy was?
is it mentally from just wondering whether I have cancer again? I don't know if it's from that or if it's because my body's just fighting and it's tired. So, but that's it. I'm just tired. I'm not sick in any other way. So,
Well, get outside, get some sun, get some fresh air, go for a walk every morning, and know that you look good and your body's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and just let it go.
okay. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thanks for calling.
Okay. Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, you bet. We do this show every Thursday night, and it's at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. Just go to AskJulieRyanShow.com and you'll come right in and we'll get you on and get your question asked. We post this information every Thursday on all my social media channels. Everything's at Ask Julie Ryan, and also on YouTube. So you can find us there as well. Us, me, myself, and I. You can find me there and all the information. Call-in details can also be found. I send out a note every week that is a question that somebody has submitted online, and then I answer it. So we put in that note as an email, hey, remember to call in if you have a question, so we can do that. Schedule an appointment with me. Just go to AskJulieRyan.com. Get on my calendar. That's the key. Get on my calendar, and then we can move you around if need be from there. And how it works is you're going to get a confirmation email. Click on that reschedule button every now and again. And what you'll find is people who have rescheduled. And then a lot of times you can get in pretty quickly. I have people all the time that reschedule, and then somebody else gets their appointment and gets in a couple of days. And they say, oh my gosh, you'll never believe. I said, yeah, I tell people every week. So if you want to do that, do that. Remember the live on the 18th. That will be fun. And online training, Angels and Enlightenment training is available. And also remember my training in November in Atlanta. And that is going to be just a ball. We are really going to have a blast down there. And you'll learn how to do everything that I do, because everybody can do this stuff, because I learned and I teach people all over the world how to do it. So Atlanta, November 3rd through 5th, come join us. All right. This week, we got a question from Mark, and Mark lives in Calgary, Canada. And he said, hey, Julie, I heard you on Dave Asprey's podcast. You do some really cool work. And when you started talking about the DNA, oh man, that is one of my goals, is to be able to do that. So come to Atlanta, Mark, and you'll learn how to do this. Thank you for confirming it's possible. I've been studying DNA, variants, polymorphisms, and using nutrition to optimize function based on individual DNA blueprint. My daughter Naya was born in January 2021 with a trisomy 21 and activated Down syndrome phenotype. I'm a little perplexed because while the current view of trisomy 21 is that it's a disability, I'm learning that it's quite the gift. There's a new German medicine I came across, and researchers have discovered that the Down syndrome phenotype is caused by what they call a double hearing conflict. He had that in quotes, associated with a physical loud noise and a, quote, I don't want to hear this, end quote, response to something mom was experiencing when the baby was in utero. I've never heard that before, but I thought this was interesting. It seems scientists have found a way to turn off the expression of the Down syndrome phenotype caused by the double hearing conflict with those who have a trisomy 21. Being that my daughter is only 2 and I want the best for her, does she want us to assist her with turning off the Down syndrome expression? Or is that part of her journey this go around? Are you able to get some feedback about that? Lots of love, Mark. What an insightful question, huh? From a dad with a special needs little girl. So I said, "Hi, Mark. You're clearly an extraordinary person. Most parents in your situation would just hope and search for medical answers to, quote, correct a condition like Downs. And here you are asking for input on what your daughter wants to fulfill her human spiritual journey in this lifetime." The American Center for Disease Control and Prevention, also known as the CDC, says, quote, Down syndrome is a condition in which a person has an extra chromosome. Chromosomes are small packages, quote, of genes in the body. They determine how a baby's body forms and function as it grows during pregnancy and after birth. Typically, a baby is born with 46 chromosomes. Babies born with Down syndrome have an extra copy of one of those chromosomes, chromosome 21. A medical term for having an extra copy of a chromosome is trisomy. Down syndrome is also referred to as trisomy 21. I didn't know that till I looked all this up when I was writing this answer to this blog. So when you guys submit questions to me, I learn all kinds of stuff too, because I'm researching things to give you an answer, and I'm also getting divine downloads from Spirit. So Spirit will guide me where to look and also will give me answers. So we're all learning together with this stuff. All right, where did I leave off? When I telepathically I said, a medical term for having an extra copy is trisomy 21. This extra copy changes how the baby's body and brain develop, which can cause both mental and physical challenges for the baby, end quote. When I telepathically asked your daughter if she wanted you to pursue medical advances that can help her live a life without the symptoms of Down syndrome, she said, absolutely. She also told me to tell you that she is perfectly happy and content to live her life however it unfolds. She said she chose this path so you and her mom could experience having a child you love and accept, while a lot of society will reject because of ignorance and fear. Your daughter's wish is that in helping her, you'll help many other Downs babies and children around the world. Regarding your comment about trisomy 21 being a gift, every parent of a Downs child I've ever met has told me their child is such a gift to them and their families. I have people tell me all the time that they are just angels on earth, these Downs babies. And so, yeah, I understand why you think she's a gift. And then I closed with, please keep me posted on your daughter and your discoveries in this area. I researched this German medicine that he referred to, and I hope he sends me a link to learn more about it. If he does, I'll share it with all of you. But I thought that was a really interesting question that was submitted, not only because of that, because of the research and the medicine that may be helpful, but also because, my gosh, how insightful for that parent to say, does my daughter really want us to go down that path? Or does she just want us to leave it alone and let it all unfold naturally? So thanks for sending that in, Mark. Really appreciate it. Speaking of working with clients, I had a fun one earlier today, and I was talking with a client and her deceased brother, kind of like what we were doing with Bailey and Kim earlier. And she said, well, does he have anything he wants to say to me? And I said, well, he's showing me a can of salmon. I said, that's just random as heck. I don't know what it means. Does that mean anything to you? And of course, I don't edit anything I get. I just tell what I get, if it's a visual or I'm hearing something in my head or whatever. And I said, he's showing me a can of salmon. And she started laughing. And I said, what? And she said, last month we went on a fishing trip for salmon in Alaska. And we were up there for a couple of weeks. And I said, well, your brother was letting you know he was with you. So when you get interesting images or thoughts in your head, if you're thinking about a deceased loved one, don't discard them, because they're sending you a message. And if you don't understand it, just ask them, what do you mean by this? Why are you sending Julie a picture of canned salmon, for heaven's sakes? So there's always some kind of method to the madness when it comes to spirit. Looks like our next caller's Lindley. Hi, Lindley.
Hi, how are you?
Great. How are you doing, girl?
I'm great as well. Thank you.
Terrific. Where are you? You look like you're in your car.
I am. I was in Target and I didn't know if I'd be able to jump on. And when you started, you said that you wanted your mics on and everything. And so I ran back in my car because I wanted to be sure to get on. But I am calling from Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, wonderful. Not too far from me.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, I'm so honored that that you left Target to talk to me. I love Target.
Yeah. I do too. I love Target with my soul, but it can wait. It will always be here.
That's right. That's right. I think they're open till 10. So I think you're good.
They are. They are. So I'm good to go.
Great. You got a question for me?
I do. It's actually about my cat. Her name is Meatloaf. I actually called you about her maybe a couple years ago because I'm very into astrology and I wanted to know what her sign was. You told me she was a Cancer, and this is a little side question for me just because I'm very into astrology. If she happens to know exactly her exact birth date and birth time, that would be so phenomenal. That would make my whole year. But the main reason I'm calling to ask about her is because she is, I believe she just turned 15 recently. She's older. I've had her for a long time and she seems to be doing fine. I know she needs to get a tooth pulled, but I'm guilty of thinking the worst and just wondering, oh no, how long will I have her around for? Just because I've had her since I was a kid and she's just my little soul cat and I love her with every fiber of my being. So I also just recently entered a new living situation, which is not very ideal for her. And so I was just wondering if you could check and see if she's healthy overall, besides that tooth that she needs pulled, and if there's anything that I can do to make her happier or more comfortable.
Okay. When you asked her birth date, I got June 27th at 3:15 p.m.
You said June 27th.
7th at 3:15 p.m.
And then what year was that? 2008?
I get 2009.
2009. So much for that. That was a selfish question for me.
No, that's great. I never thought about doing an astrology chart for an animal. Where'd you learn that? Is that a thing?
It makes a difference. Yeah. So you can do the same way you can do a birth chart for any person. You can do the same for an animal, and it really shows you a lot about it reveals a lot more of their personality and characteristics to you. And so, yeah, that's, I love to do astrology on all of my friends and loved ones, but, doing them on pets is fun too.
Meatloaf, where the heck did you come up with that name for a cat? Does she look like a meatloaf?
She does. She's a little bit on the heavier side, and so she fits the name pretty well. But for the longest time, I had never named her just because a name never came to me. And then maybe 5 years ago or so, my friend was like, she was sitting down and looking at her from overhead. She looks like a loaf of bread, and she was like, she looks like a meatloaf. She should be Meatloaf. And so it's it's just stuck since then. And she her personality fits the name very well as well.
Oh my gosh, that's hysterical. I'm thinking of Meatloaf, the singer, the rock guy, who I think
yeah.
long ago. Yeah. Yeah. So why do you say that your living arrangement is not optimal for her?
Because I had to move into a new situation kind of on a whim. And my friend who I'm staying with has 2 cats and a dog. And her animals themselves have never really gotten along, and so she keeps them separated. And Meatloaf is queen bee, and she doesn't really get along with other animals in general. And so it's kind of on both ends. She doesn't get along with other animals, and the animals that she has don't get along with animals as well. So I kind of have to keep her in my room, and we take turns kind of letting the pets have living room time and socialize. So
That's what she's saying. What you can do first, just keep her in your room. Just, keep your room off limits to those other wild beasts.
Yeah, and I definitely do. Is she okay health wise besides her tooth that needs pulled?
I guess she has 3 teeth that are in question. So you may want to look into that. I never knew cats got their teeth pulled till my daughter-in-law became a vet, Mallory, Dr. Mal, and she said that's a thing. But I've never had a cat, so I wouldn't know that. But I was like, what? But apparently they need to have their teeth pulled. So that's interesting. Health-wise, her spirit's in her body. She looks okay to me. Yeah, she just doesn't like those wild, she's calling them wild beasts in the room.
She is such a queen bee, and she knows that she's queen bee, and that's how she's always been. And so I've tried years and years ago, I've tried to wild beast. That's so funny. I've tried to introduce other animals to her before, and she's just not a fan of it. She rules the roost. And so I'm not surprised she's saying that. But is there anything else that I can do to make her happier?
I think she looks good. Get her teeth taken care of. I think you're going to have her for a while. Keep her in your room, and schedule an appointment with me, and we can do a deep dive on her or whatever else you want to talk about.
Yeah, I'm an intuitive as well, so I have lots of questions. So I would love that.
All right, or come to the live. Come to the Ask Julie Ryan live, and we can do that too. Okay. Thanks, Lindley.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. That whole birth chart thing, birth certificate thing, when first time I had my chart done, the gal that was doing it, she said, well, I need to know the date and time and where you were born and all of that. Well, some rocket scientist in Ohio didn't put the time of birth on the birth certificates. They decided it wasn't necessary. So there were a bunch of us in the mid 50s to the mid 60s that don't have a time of birth on. So when I was doing this, my mom had already passed. So I asked my dad, he was still alive, and he's like, I'm clueless. He said, I was in a waiting room in a hospital with fluorescent lights when all of you guys were born. I can't tell you. So what did I do? I have a special set of skills. So I called my mom's spirit in, and I said, what time was I born? She told me, boom. I gave that to the gal that was doing my chart. She asked me some questions. She said, that's right on the money. And there we go. We were off to the races. So if you don't know those things, just call in your loved ones and ask them a question, and you'll hear a thought in your head, and it will make sense. And then you can go from there. So let's see who we've got next. Looks like we have Laura next. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you, girl?
I'm great. Or not so great, which is why I'm calling in. And I thank you so much. I've been listening to you for so long. Hoping to get on.
Thank you. Where are you?
I'm calling from Los Angeles, California.
Okay. Terrific. Well, got a question for me?
Yes. So it's more of a healing that I'm calling in to request. I've been recently diagnosed with, they're saying that it's autoimmune hepatitis. They're not 100% sure, but I can definitely tell you that I've been struggling health-wise for many years. So it was kind of it was a great thing to finally hear a diagnosis, but yet they can't seem to pinpoint how to, get it, get all the inflammation down. So I'm on different medications and just not feeling well at all. I have good days and then a lot of bad days. So I thought I'd call in and see if there's anything you can do to help.
Sure. What are your symptoms, Laura?
A lot of fatigue, my muscles ache. Real foggy brained, headaches. It's just, not really. It's hard to get out of bed a lot. I mean, I have to stay active. I have my daughter and my family, and a job, but it's been pretty miserable trying to get through it every day. So, I'm just hoping to feel better.
Okay. All right. Let me get you on my radar. Let's see what's going on. And they're saying it's hepatitis. Interesting.
Autoimmune. But again, they can't say for sure. So maybe you can tell me a little more insight on what might be going on.
I heard a doctor at a conference last year say all autoimmune, whatever, is all leaky gut. All leaky gut.
Yeah.
And it was Dr. Gundry. Have you heard of him, Dr.
Yes, I
Gundry?
have. Yes, I
He's
have.
in Loma Linda, not far from you.
You're right.
And Loma Linda, for those of you that don't know, is heading east out of LA towards Palm Springs and Palm Desert. And I believe he has a practice in Loma Linda. He was at Loma Linda Medical Center for many years as a cardiovascular surgeon. And he on the stage said, all autoimmune is leaky gut, no matter what kind of diagnosis they give you. So do you have any GI issues where gas, bloating, end, brain fog? You got brain fog, you said.
Brain fog, definitely. I never thought of myself as having any GI issues, but I can tell you, sadly, I've had an addiction to sugar my whole life, which I've tried to stop now and curb. And I can tell that when I eat a lot of sugar, I try to stay away from it. But if I have some, I wake up much foggier brained, more achy. So I do believe it can be related, or it should be, from lifelong too high of sugar intake, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough.
On the head. You just self-diagnosed, girl.
Gosh.
That's what's going on. It's your gut. Now, you're talking to a sugar addict here. And I got sugar sober, seriously, at 60. And here's what happened 4 years ago. It was 4 years in April that I've been sugar. I have not had sugar. I didn't even eat wedding cake at my son's wedding. So here's how I did it. I got some brain octane oil. You ever heard of that? Brain octane.
But I'm writing it down.
Highly refined coconut oil. And Dave Asprey, my buddy Dave Asprey, I told him one day, I was talking to him on the phone. I said, Dave, this sugar addiction's just kicking my butt. And he said, Jules, you got to get some brain octane oil, which is a highly refined coconut oil. Have you heard of MCT oil?
Okay.
So
I have heard of it.
This is C8. And most MCT oil, he explained to me, is C12. This is C8. So the body can't store it as fat, which I was all over that. I'm like, okay, that sounds good to me right there. But he went on to teach me that the brain operates on glucose or on ketones. And the brain octane oil, which has no flavor and no color, produces ketones in the body. And he said, if you add that to your food, you will not crave sugar. He said, and then you got to get it out of your house and stay away from it. So I did. I did a combination of treating myself like a drug addict or alcoholic. And I was like, okay, I've been sugar sober for 1 day. Okay, I've been sugar sober for 3 weeks. Okay, I've been sugar sober for 4 months. At this stage, there is no way I'll go back to have to start over after 4 years. That's not happening. It's just not going to happen. So this brain octane oil, I measure it out. And Laura, how I do it is I'll put a tablespoon on my food. It doesn't have any flavor. It doesn't have any color. So I'll use it as salad dressing. And it comes in capsules, and it sounds like an ad for this company. I don't mean it to be, but I mean, it's a game changer. It's magical. It is a number one reason I was able to get off sugar. So I put that on my food, and then I got the sugar out of the house. Even at Halloween now, those big bags of candy, I used to bring them in my house and I could smell them from like another room, all those Snickers bars and all that jazz. Trick-or-treaters come to my house to get a $1 bill. I don't bring it into my house. Seriously. I give them a $1 bill because I don't have that many of them. So I was spending more on the candy than I was handing out $1 bills. And that will help as much as you can. So now when I see that stuff, my immediate response is, oh my God, that looks so amazing. And then I immediately say, I don't eat that stuff anymore. And I don't. Your symptoms are going to go away if you do that.
Okay.
They're going to go away, I promise. Sugar is the most inflammatory thing you can eat.
Yeah.
Period. So, and it's addictive as crazy. I mean, it's crazy, crazy. They say it's more addictive than cocaine. I've never used
I
cocaine,
believe.
so I can't compare them, but
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I just know that, and just the games that we play with each other. I remember I'd say, "Okay, I'm not gonna have sugar today," and then I'd eat it, and then I'd think, "Okay, I blew it. I'm just gonna go ahead and have a free for all, and then I'll start again tomorrow." Well, that went on for 60 years. So yeah, it's the sugar. The other thing is yeast overgrowth. I've got you on my radar while we've been chatting. You've got yeast. You heard me talk about the yeast before. Yeast craves sugar. It's his favorite food. So when I was treated for yeast, that helped. And I remember going into my doctor's office and saying, "Is it a character flaw that I crave sugar?" And he laughed and he said, "No, it's the yeast that craves it." So
Yeah.
that's going to help a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
The fact that you feel worse when you eat sugar, you already know. You already know.
I do. Oh my goodness. And I still do it. No, I've been cutting back though, but I'm definitely going to get my hands on this CA oil or brain octane. You said, okay.
Brain octane oil. You can get it online. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it. I've seen it in the grocery stores and in CVS and Walgreens and places like that. And it comes in capsules if you prefer that. So that'll help too. So let me know how you're doing. Call back in after you've been
Thank you. Well, I do have an appointment. I did schedule something with you. It's not till December, but I will.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, check that confirmation email periodically. You know, that reschedule button, and we'll see. We'll see how.
Thank you. Thank you, Julie.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Look forward to it. All right, let's go to the winner for this month. Drum roll. Okay, I'll keep my day job. Not a very good drummer. Here we go. This goes to somebody that calls themselves Earth Angel and left a review on Apple. And she says, I had my much anticipated reading today with the lovely Julie Ryan. Her voice is so calming and grounding. I felt like I was talking to a friend I've known for 30 years. At the same time, she's so connected to spirit, like the perfect bridge between heaven and earth. I threw a hefty list of concerns and questions at her, and she knocked them off one by one without any hesitation. Beyond that, she's released something for me that I've been carrying for almost 15 years, and wow, I feel lighter than air. So very grateful for this Earth Angel. Well, you are, I'm sorry. The author is One Sober Girl. Speaking of being sugar sober, she calls herself One Sober Girl. Earth Angel was her title. Sorry, got that wrong. So One Sober Girl, you are the winner of a free session with me. So email us, Julie at AskJulieRyan.com, and we will get you scheduled in on my calendar. And I look forward to having you for a whole hour. If you want to win a free session, I give one away every month, and at every live, I give one away as well, plus trainings and other goodies. Just submit a review wherever you listen to the podcast or leave a review on YouTube, and you will be entered into a drawing. So One Sober Girl, you're the winner. Looks like our next caller is Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm doing better. I spoke to you 3 weeks ago, so.
Yeah, tell everybody where you are.
I'm from Southern California by Santa Clarita.
Okay.
So I talked to you about 3 weeks ago. You said I had intestinal candida. It was extremely hard getting the nystatin. Let's just say I had to get creative to get that. So my question is, do you feel like, I'm hoping that I got enough to eradicate it, or, enough to get rid of it. Again, I had to be creative about getting enough. My question is, do you feel that I have enough to get rid of it? And do you see anything else making me ill, even if it's mold or like a lower vibrational energy or anything like that?
Lower vibrational energy, like an evil spirit kind of thing you talking about?
Yeah, I didn't want to put it in those terms, but yeah.
That stuff doesn't exist. It was created by religions and cultures to control the masses. So don't even go there, because it's a total waste of your time. That doesn't even
That's
exist.
fine. I didn't want to. I just meant like just kind of bad energy. Could be from a person or something, or just situation around my home or something like that. So it wasn't necessarily that, but
Yeah.
okay.
All right, let me get you on my radar. Here we go. Santa Clarita, for those of you that don't know, is just a little bit north of LA. We got two LA girls back to back. How about that? So, all right, got that. And I lived there for a long time, obviously. That's how I know where all these places are. And was just there last week in LA. All right, got you. Yeah, it's Candida. You're full of yeast. Looks like
Mhm.
somebody sprinkled flour or powdered sugar on you. Yeah. So that'll help a lot. Stay low on the food chain, what I talked about earlier.
Yes.
Stay away from fermented things. Stay away from anything that's refined, and do the nice statin, and do the gut biome test. Do biome.com
Mhm.
/Julie Ryan, and you will find out what's going to be the best things for you to eat. And that will be
Yeah. And
deal.
my main question was, I got 3 weeks worth of nystatin. Do you feel intuitively that's enough to get rid of it?
See how you feel. I'm getting a no, but go ahead and start on it and see how you feel, and then go from there. Go from there.
So most likely, but you're getting a no, so most likely I would try and get another couple weeks, or I don't know how much more. And that was like my only question, like how long do you feel I should be on it to get rid of it?
I'm not a physician,
I
Elizabeth, so
know.
that's, I can't really tell you that. I'm getting
I
that
understand.
with a doctor. I would get in touch with Dr. Amasanti in
Okay.
London. She can help you with that. It's dramasanti.com.
Yeah.
She people all over the world via Zoom. She is a physician, so she can help you with that. But
Yeah.
I can tell you that I was on it when I got my yeast cleared up. It was over a year, but I'd had it for 40 years. So I don't know how long you'll be on it. I get 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was very hard getting it. Doctors don't believe it exists, and I was turned away multiple times. I had to end up getting it from two, I don't want to say this, but from two different online doctors just to get it. It was really hard. So, then I ended up getting 3 weeks, and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to just quit after 3 weeks and have to, I felt like I should take more, but I'm hoping the 3 weeks will be enough.
Yeah, well, give that a try and do the diet thing with it, and you're going to feel a whole lot.
Just eating meats and low vegetables. That's it. All right.
Terrific.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you feel better. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hi. Hi, can
Hi,
you hear me?
Nancy.
Can you hear
Yes,
me?
ma'am. I can. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. You have a beautiful tan.
Oh, thanks. I live in Naples, Florida.
That aqua on you is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Shows off your tan.
Thank
Well,
you.
you got a question for me?
Well, yeah, I'm a widow and I'm in a relationship, and I didn't know if the divine had anything to tell me about like the future prospects of this relationship that I'm in right at the current time.
Are you having fun?
Yes.
Good. What's the lucky relationship person's name? First name?
William.
William. Okay. So what are you concerned about?
Well, this isn't easy. I was married for 33 years and my husband passed away suddenly. So I just needed, am I on the right path? Is it something that I should pursue? He's a wonderful man, but it's just, it's scary.
Well, it's scary because you haven't dated in 33 years. And so you're like going, whoa, what's this all about? Yeah, I have several friends who are in the same boat with you. One got married, one dated a guy for a while. Now she's with somebody else. And so it's just kind of like, going back to the future is what we're doing, right? When you're dating at that stage of the game. I get that it's, as long as it's fun for you, just enjoy it. We tend to overanalyze the daylights out of everything. And at this stage of the game, it's about having a companion and having fun.
Right. That's right.
And
Yeah.
and if you enjoy his company, that's all
Yes.
you need to go. Go day by day and pay attention to how it feels instead
Right.
of what we think. I think that we're all trained to negate our feelings and go with logic.
Right.
What I'm finding, I don't know about you, but the older I get, the more I go with, how does it feel? What's my gut feeling on this? And regardless of what my logic says, what my
Right.
mind is saying, and you're never going to be led wrong if you follow what your
Right.
intuition and your logic is telling you. So, what's giving you hesitation about it?
He's not divorced yet. He's separated, but they're working on that, So I come from a very loving, caring, relationship. So it's, I don't know, it's just scary to me.
Well, what's the worst thing that you have to lose? You spend some time with them and it doesn't work out, and then you find somebody else to
Right.
date.
It's a
I mean,
lesson. Yeah.
well, it's not
Yeah.
even a lesson. Just if you're enjoying it,
Oh, yeah, definitely.
go forward. If do you want to get remarried?
I'm not sure about that. I don't know. I was married so young, and I mean, it was just wonderful. Nothing's perfect, but it was really good. I had a wonderful husband. I was
Yeah,
very
it was
blessed.
it was good training, and
Yes.
he's advising you. Ask his advice.
Right.
Just say, "Hey, honey, what do you think?"
Yeah.
And if it feels good, continue. If it
Well, I
doesn't, then
often wonder sometimes, did he send him to me? I do
yes,
believe that, you know.
yes, I get a yes on that. As soon as you said that, I got a yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So
Yeah.
you're a catch. You're a catch. Look at you.
You're
You're
so sweet.
beautiful. You're
Thank you.
beautiful. You're smart. You're obviously darling and
Yeah.
fabulous. And yeah.
Oh,
So
thanks.
if this guy doesn't treat you right, I want you to remember one 4-letter word. I tell it to my
Right.
cerebrals. Next.
Next.
All
Well,
right.
thank you
Keep
so
us
much. I
posted.
greatly appreciate it.
Okay.
You're wonderful.
All righty.
Have a good
Bye.
evening. Bye-bye.
All righty, everybody. That's it for this week. Join us next week with your questions. Call in. And in the meantime, sending you lots of love from Sweet Home, Alabama. Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.